Jane Appleton was born in Hampton, New Hampshire, to Reverend Jesse Appleton, a Congregationalist minister, and Elizabeth Means Appleton. She was a polite, frail, shy, melancholy figure, and the third of 6 children. After the death of her father, Jane Appleton moved into the mansion of her wealthy material grandparents in Amherst, New Hampshire, when she was 13 years old. While going to school in Keene, New Hampshire, she discovered at a young age her interest in literature. Jane Appleton's brother-in-law, Alpheus S. Packard, was one of Franklin Pierce's instructors at Bowdoin College. It is assumed that she met Franklin Pierce through this Bowdoin association. Franklin, age 30, married Jane, age 28, on November 19, 1834, at the bride's maternal grandparents' home in Amherst, New Hampshire. Jane's family was opposed to the union due to Pierce's political ambitions. Franklin and Jane Pierce had 3 sons, all of whom died in childhood. Franklin Jr. died in infancy, while Frank Robert died at age 4 from epidemic typhus. Benjamin died at age 11 in a train crash. Jane's distaste for politics created a tension that would continue throughout Franklin Pierce's political ascent. Franklin was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives by the time Jane married him. He became a U.S. Senator in 1837, and Jane was forced to become the political wife she never wanted to be. Jane encouraged her husband to resign his Senate seat and return to New Hampshire, which he did in 1842. She blamed politics for all the troubles in her life, including the death of her children and Franklin's excessive alcohol consumption. Franklin Pierce served in the Mexican-American War and attained the rank of Brigadier General. After his return home, the Pierces lived quietly at Concord, New Hampshire for 4 years. In 1848, President James K. Polk offered Franklin an appointment as United States Attorney General. However, due to Jane's objection, he turned it down. In 1852, Franklin Pierce received the Democratic Party nomination for president. When Jane heard the news, she fainted. Franklin persuaded Jane that if he became president, their son Benny would be more likely to become successful. When Benny was killed by a train accident before the swearing-in on January 6, 1853, Jane believed that God was displeased with her husband's political ambitions. On March 4th, the presidential inauguration took place, and Jane was not present at the ceremony. She distanced herself during her husband's presidency, wrapped in melancholy after losing every one of her young children. For nearly 2 years, she remained in the upstairs living quarters of the executive mansion, spending her days writing letters to her dead son. She left the social chores to her aunt, Abby Kent Means, and her close friend, Verena Davis, wife of U.S. War Secretary and future President of the Confederate States of America, Jefferson Davis. Jane Pierce made her first official appearance as First Lady at a New Year's Day reception in 1855, and thereafter served as Executive Mansion hostess intermittently for the remainder of her husband's term, ending in 1857. Jane Pierce died of tuberculosis at Andover, Massachusetts on December 2, 1863. She was buried at Old North Cemetery in Concord, New Hampshire. Her husband was interred beside her following his death in 1869.